A lot of people think they are lost when what they really are is between versions. The old way of being no longer fits properly. The old rhythm feels wrong. The old identity feels thinner than it used to. But the new self is not fully formed yet either. So the person stands in that in-between place and calls it failure, confusion, drift, or not knowing who they are anymore. But transition often feels like that. It rarely announces itself clearly. It does not always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like uncertainty, low clarity, emotional looseness, less certainty than before, and a strange feeling that the things that once organized your life no longer hold the same shape. That can be deeply uncomfortable because the mind prefers stable labels. It likes to know who you are, what this means, where this is going, and how to explain the current version of you. But becoming is not always explainable in real time. Sometimes the old self has to soften before the new one becomes visible. That middle space can feel empty if you do not understand it. You may think you are behind. You may think you are broken. You may think you are wasting time because your direction feels less obvious than it used to. But often, what is really happening is quieter. The old structure is dissolving. The parts of you built around old roles, old survival strategies, old relationships, old expectations, or old identities are losing authority. That creates space, but space does not always feel immediately good. Sometimes it feels like disorientation first. That does not mean you are lost. It may only mean you can no longer live honestly inside what used to define you. That is a very different experience. Because once something inside you knows the old version is no longer true enough, returning to it stops bringing peace. Even if the new version is unclear, the old one starts feeling too narrow to inhabit fully. That is where a lot of people start panicking. They want immediate replacement, immediate clarity, immediate identity. But becoming usually unfolds slower than fear wants it to. It asks for patience with shapelessness, with not fully knowing, with a feeling of being unfinished. That is hard, especially for people who feel safest when they can explain themselves clearly. But being between versions is still movement. It is not the clean kind. It is not the satisfying kind. But it is often a very real movement. So if you have been feeling lost lately, it may be worth asking whether you are truly directionless, or whether you are simply standing in the quiet space where one version of you is ending before the next one becomes clear enough to name. Sometimes the most honest phase of growth is the one that looks the least defined from the outside, and that does not make it less real.